Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Before we start the preview conference, first and foremost, the opening prayer to be led by our Vice Chairman, the Chief of Quality and Assurance Section, Engineer Manuel Tabinga.
Sa mga oras na ito, sa araw na ito, sa pagkakalong ng muli, ng magandang pangatawan, kalusugan sa bawat isang meron dito. Kung nasasalamatan din po namin, ang lahat ng mga biyaya, at pagpala na pinagkakalagay sa amin, sa pang-araw-araw namin pamumuhay. Sa mga oras ito, Panginoon, tinataas po namin ang aming gawain, kayo po ang manguna, o may sa gawa po namin ito, kung nawin po sa aming kanulan. Iniligid po namin ang pagpapatawad, sa lahat ng mga pagkukulang, pagkakasala, nagagawa namin sa isip at sa salita muli, pinagalik namin ang kapurihan sa ngalan ni Jesus, natin sa kapagligtas. Amen.
Good morning to all the viewers watching the preview conference, live streaming at YouTube video and social media platform. We are having a pre-bid conference. This is to inform the prospective bidders and explaining complicated specifications and requirements as early as possible after the invitation to bid has been issued and before bids are open. The Bids and Awards Committee back meeting for today, November 6, 2025 is now called to order. We will request our Head Procurement Unit, our Head Back Secretariat, Sir Arnel Portales, to please read the rolls of attendance and the agenda of the preview conference.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Our attendance for today's meeting for the pre-bid conference of infra projects and goods. As I call your name, please acknowledge. Ma'am Maria Pigpayaw, back member.
Present.
Ma'am Annabel Dizon, back member.
Present.
Sir Romel Cabanillas, back member. Sir Manuel Tabinga, back vice chairman. And Sir Eugenio Arcaton, back chairman.
Present.
5 members are present and therefore there is quorum. Likewise present, yours truly, Arnel Portales, Belardo Tupas, and Raquel Ross. Our agenda, pre-bid conference for contract ID number 25EF0124, construction of classroom of Balot Elementary School, Brooks Point, Palawan. 25EF0125, construction of Kadulan Elementary School, Rizal, Palawan. 25EF0126, construction of classroom, Mangsi National High School, Balabac, Palawan. 25EF0127, construction of school health facilities, Balabac Central School, Balabac, Palawan. 25EF0128, repair rehabilitation of classrooms, Malaking Ilog Elementary School, Balabac, Palawan. 25EF0129, repair rehabilitation of classrooms, Bintat Caris Elementary School, Rizal, open and close, Marcos, Palawan. Agenda number 1, brief presentation, explanation by back of the following. Letter A, basic contract data including contract description, ABC, and duration. Letter B, requirements of bidding documents including instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. And letter C, we have documents to be submitted by the bidders. For technical envelope, component envelope, we have Class A documents, Small letter A, legal documents. Letter B, technical documents. Letter C, financial documents. And letter D, Class B documents. And for number 2, under letter C, we have financial component envelope. Under that, we have A, financial bid form. B, bid prices and the BOQ. C, bidder estimate. D, cash flow by quarter. And for under number 1 agenda, we have letter D, criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. And number 2 agenda, questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. Number 3, summary proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued. And number 4, other matters. For agenda of pre-bid conference for contract ID 25GF0060, supply and delivery of office supplies and other supplies and materials for use of DPWH Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, Nara, Palawan. And for number 2, 25GF0061, supply and delivery of information and communication technology, ICT, equipment for use of DPWH Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, Nara, Palawan. We have agenda of pre-bid conference. We have, for number 1, we have the basic contract data. And number 2, requirements of bidding documents. Number 3, documents to be submitted by the bidders, including technical and financial proposals. And number 4, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. And number 5, questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. And number 6, summary proceedings, including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued. And number 7, other matters. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Engineer Portales. May we request Engineer Mariafe Cayo to please discuss the basic contract data and the documents to be submitted by the bidders.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, now invites bids of the following projects. Bidders should have completed contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2 of the Instructions to Bidders, or IPB. For contract ID 25EF0127, contract name, construction of school health facilities, Balabac Central School. Contract location, Balabac, Palawan. Bid description, construction of one school clinic 7 by 9 meters with halfway 2.5 meters by 9 meters, dental clinic room, examination room, nurse station and receiving area, with threaded plumbing works with 3 chambers, septic tank, and electrical works. The approved budget for the contract is 4,477,000 pesos. The source of funds is SR 2025-09-02-1832. Contract duration is 105 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000. PCAB license for size range is small fee. For contract ID 25EF0128, contract name, repair and rehabilitation of classrooms, Malaking Ilog Elementary School. Contract location, Balabac, Palawan. Brief description, repair, rehabilitation of 8 classrooms with ceiling, roof, repainting of walls, blackboards, doors and windows, middle steel truss, and electrical works. The approved budget for the contract is 7,600,000 pesos. Source of funds is SR 2025 09021-706. Contract duration is 80 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 10,000. Pickup license for size range small P. Next is contract ID 25EF0129. Contract name, repair, rehabilitation of classrooms, Bintat Caris Elementary School. Contract location, Rizal, Palawan. Brief description, repair, rehabilitation of 5 classrooms, include the ceiling, the roof, repainting of walls, blackboards, doors, and windows, middle, steel truss, and electrical works. The approved budget for the contract is 3,800,000. The source of funds is the same as SR 2025-09021706. Contract duration is 60 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000. Pickup license for size range is small P. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass-fail criterion as specified in IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act or NGPA. Bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens, sole proprietorships, cooperatives, and partnerships or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. Interested bidders may obtain further information from the Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents at the address DPWH, Palawan, 2nd floor, backroom, Nara, Palawan. And websites, DPWH website www.dpwh.gov.ph or the PhilJeps website www.philjeps.gov.ph. And upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPPB in the amount as stated. The issuance of or the loading of bidding documents will be on October 30, 2025 to November 18, 2025 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on November 19 until 10 a.m. For the receipt by the back deadline is until 10 a.m. on November 19, 2025. For the opening of bids will be on November 19, 2025, 10 a.m. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic System or the PhilJeps and the website of the procuring entity, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office will is holding the pre-bid conference this this day at 10 a.m. DPWH Palawan 2nd backroom, Nara, Palawan. Bids must be duly received by the Bids and Awards Committee or the BAC Secretariat through manual submission at the address DPWH website of www.dpwh.gov.ph. All bids must be indicated below. Online electronic submission is indicated on or before November 19, 2025 at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by the bid security in any of the acceptable forms and in the amount stated in ITB Clause 16. Bid opening shall be on November 19, 2025, 10 a.m. at DPWH Building, second floor, back room, Nara, Palawan. All bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders and representatives who choose to attend the activity. Bid proposals may be submitted through an authorized representative for sole proprietorship company, original notarized special power of attorney, or SPA, which is contract specific, and presentation of two valid identification issued by the government institution. For corporation, company, original notarized secretary certificate, and or board resolution, which is contract specific, and presentation of two valid identification issued by government institution. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Bulacan Second District Engineering Office, reserves the right to reject any and all bids declared or failure of bidding or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 9 number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to Engineer Eugene R. Paton, our back chairperson, DWH, Palawan Second District Engineering Office, National Highway, Barangay Antipolo, Nara, Palawan. For Engineer Arnel C. Portales, our back secretariat head, DPWH, Palawan Second District Engineering Office, National Highway, Barangay Antipolo, Nara, Palawan. You may visit the following websites for downloading of the documents. DPWH website www.dpwh.gov.ph or the PhilHeps website www.philheps.gov.ph. For the online bid submission, electronic bids allowance to at dpwh.gov.ph. That's all, Mr. Chairman, for the basic contract data. This is the documents to be submitted by the bidder, the technical and financial documents. The technical and financial documents must be in 3 copies, 1 original and the first and second copy, book bounded, sealed into 1 envelope. For the legal documents, valid PhilHeps registration certificate, platinum membership. This will be complete in 3 pages and all documents must be updated. Number 2, the registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade, Industry or DTI for sole proprietorship or Cooperative Development Authority, CDA for cooperatives or its equivalent document. Number 3, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business or the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. Number 4, tax clearance per executive order number 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR. For the technical documents, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Number 2, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. Number 3, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board or PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Number 4 is the original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or the original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Number 5, the project requirements, which include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Letter D, list of contractors, state personnel, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen to be assigned to the contract to be bid with their complete qualification and experience data. Letter C, list of contractors, major equipments which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreements supported by proof of ownership, a certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor vendor for the duration of the project as the case may be. Yung ating laboratory equipments and apparatus ay considered as major equipment. Kailangan meron din tayong naka-attach doon sa inyong technical analysis. Together with the proof of purchase. O mayroon kayong certificate of inspection from the head of PWD, pwede na rin yun. Number 6 is the original duly signed omnibus term statement, OSS, and applicable original notarized secretary certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperative, original special power of attorney of all the members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and 2 acts to represent the bidder. For the financial documents, the prospective bidders, audited financial statements showing among others the prospective bidders' total and current assets, liabilities, stamp received by the PIR for its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of each submission. Prospective bidders' computation of the net financial contracting capacity or NFCC. For Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and each IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence. Duly notarized statements from all potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of GBA or joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful. Any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document in the above mentioned checklist is the ground for outright rejection of the bid. For the financial proposal or financial documents, the original signed and accomplished financial bid form. Number 2 is the original duly signed bid prices, the bill of quantities. Number 3, duly accomplished detailed estimates form, including the summary sheet indicating the unit prices for construction materials, labor rates, equipment rental used in coming up with the bid, and cash flow by quarter. It be noted that any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient document for the above checklist of the financial proposal is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. That's all, Mr. Chairman, for the documents to be submitted by the bidder.
Thank you, Engineer Maria Pecayo. We will request Madam Annabel Dizon to please discuss the basic contract data and documents to be submitted by the bidders for goods.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning.
Good.
The Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office now invites bid for supply and delivery of goods. Bidders should have completed within the calendar days stated from the date of submission and receipt of bids. A contract similar to the project. The description of an eligible bidder is contained in the bidding documents, particularly in Section 2, Instruction to Bidders. For contract ID 25GF006, the contract name is supply and delivery of office supplies and other supplies and materials for use of DPWH Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office. Contract location, Nara, Palawan. The approved budget for the contract or ABC is 1,615,687.70 pesos. And the brief description is supply and delivery of office supplies and other supplies and materials. Delivery date or contract duration, 45 calendar days. And the cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. For contract ID 25GF0061, the contract name is supply and delivery of information and communication technology equipment for use of DPWH Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office. Contract location, Nara, Palawan. Approved budget for the contract is 1,988,940 pesos. And the brief description is information and community technology equipment such as computers, desktop computers, and laptops. Delivery date or contract duration, 60 calendar days, and the cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos only. Interested bidders may obtain further information from Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, and inspect the bidding documents at Procurement Unit Office, Back Building, DPWH, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, during weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. A complete set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders from Procurement Unit Office, Back Building, DPWH, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office, and websites, DPWH website, www.dpwh.gov.ph, and PhilJEP's website at www.philjeps.gov.ph. And upon payment of the applicable fee for the bidding documents pursuant to the latest guidelines issued by the GPTV. It may also be downloaded free of charge from the website of the Philippine Government Electronic Procurement System or PhilJEPS and the website of the procuring entity, provided that bidders shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents not later than the submission of their bids. Bid proposals may be submitted through an authorized representative. For sole proprietorship company, original notarized special power of attorney or SPA, which is contract specific and presentation of two valid identification issued by government institution. And for corporation company, original notarized secretary certificate and or board resolution, which is contract specific and presentation of two valid identification issued by government institution. Bid opening shall be on November 19, 2025, 10 a.m. at DPWH Building, 2nd floor, back room, Nara, Palawan. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Late bids shall not be accepted. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Palawan 2nd District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Sections 35.6 and 41 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of RA number 9184, without hereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For further information, please refer to BAC Chairperson Lino Arcaton and BAC Secretariat Head Arnel C. Portales. And that's all for the invitation and for our contract-based data. And for the documents to be submitted by the bidders for eligibility and technical components are the following. For Class 3 legal documents, number 1, valid field jobs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. And all eligibility requirements should be all updated. Number 2, registration certificate from the Securities and Exchange Commission or SEC, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, or Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives, or its equivalent document. Number 3, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the respective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And number 4, tax clearance or Executive Order number 398 Series 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. And for technical documents, number 1 requirement is statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Number 2, statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract or SLCC similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided for in sections 23.4.1.3 and 23.4.2.4 of the 2016 revised IRR of RA number 9184 within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents. And number 3, original copy of bid security, if in the form of a surety bond, submit also a certification issued by the insurance company or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Number 4, conformity with the technical specifications, which may include production delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and or after-sales parts if applicable. And lastly, number 5, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement or OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary certificate in case of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of attorney of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to each officer to sign the OSS and to act to represent the bidder. And for financial documents, number 1 requirement, the supplier's audited financial statement showing, among others, the supplier's total and current asset and liabilities is stamped, received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. Number 2, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, or a committed line of credit from a universal or commercial bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. Number 3, if applicable, a duly signed joint venture agreement in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the conditions of the joint venture agreement in the instance that the bid is successful. For other documentary requirements under number 9184, as applicable for foreign bidders claiming for reasons or their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos, certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in government procurement activities for the same item or product. Number 2, certification from DTI if the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. And any missing documents in the above mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid. And the documents to be submitted should be one original copy, first copy and second copy, and it should be book bounded, paginated, clear copies, and you may also present the proof of purchase. And that's all, Chairman, for the documents to be submitted by the bidders.
Thank you, Madam Annabel Dizon, for the information. For the receipt and opening of bids, eligibility requirements for procurement of goods and infrastructure projects for purposes of determining the eligibility of bidders using the criteria stated in section 52.4 of this IRR, the prospective bidder shall submit its valid and updated certificate of registration pursuant to the requirements provided in section 20 of this IRR to ensure that the prospective bidder is technically and financially capable to undertake the procurement project. The BAC shall also require the submission of the following documents using the forms prescribed in the bidding documents. Which mentioned a while ago by Madam Annabel Dizon and Engineer Maria Pecayo. Statement of the bidder avoids ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the procurement of project. For goods and infrastructure projects, statement of the bidder's SLCC, similar to the procurement project except under conditions provided for in section 52.4.1.3 and 52.4.2.4 of the IRR, within the relevant period as provided in the bidding documents in the case of goods. For goods and infrastructure projects, the bidder's computation of NFCC. However, in the case of procurement of goods, a bidder may submit a committed line of credit from a bank in lieu of its NFCC computation. In case of the prospective bidder is a joint venture, the following documents shall be required. For goods, a valid joint venture agreement, JVA, in case of a joint venture is already in existence. In the absence of JVA, duly notarized statements from all the potential joint venture partners should be included in the bid, stating that they will enter and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the event that the bid is successful. Failure to enter into a joint venture in the event of a contract award shall be ground for the forfeiture of the bid security. For infrastructure projects, JV bidders shall submit a JVA in accordance with RE number 4566 or the contractor's license law and its IRR. Each partner of the joint venture shall submit their respective PhilJOB certificate of registration in accordance with section 20.2.9.1 of this IRR. The submission of technical and financial eligibility documents by any of the joint venture partners constitutes compliance, provided that the partners responsible to submit the NFCC shall likewise submit the statement of all its ongoing contracts. The bidder must have completed within a period of 10 years from the submission of the bid, unless a shorter period is indicated in the invitation to bid. An SLCC that is similar to the procurement of project to be bid, and those value adjusted to current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority, PSA, consumer price indices, must be at least 50% of the ABC. If the procuring entity determines that it is necessary to adopt a different SLCC requirement to ensure broader bidder participation while establishing their technical capacity, it may allow bidders to present a combination of contracts completed within the same period, provided their total value is at least 50% of the ABC. Thus, the bidder should have completed at least one similar contract amounting to at least 25% of the ABC, and the bidder should have completed other contracts, whether similar or not, with an aggregate amount of at least 25% of the ABC. For this purpose, the procuring entity may clarify in the bidding documents the definition or description of what to be a similar project. For the procurement of infrastructure projects, the bidder must have completed an SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid, and those whose value adjusted to current prices using the PSA consumer price indices must be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid, provided that any change to the 50% requirement may be allowed, subject to the recommendation of the procuring entity, which shall be submitted to the GPBB for consideration. Provided further that contractors under small A and B categories without similar experience on the procurement project to be bid may be allowed to bid if the cost of such contract is not more than allowable range of contract costs of their registration based on the guidance as prescribed by the PICAP. Moreover, a contract shall be considered similar to the procurement project if it has the same major categories of work. The procuring entity may clarify in the bidding documents that what is regarded as major categories of work guided by the principle of proportionality and fit-for-purpose approach. The SLCC shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating or at least satisfactory in the CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In the case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. The computation of a bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, calculated as follows. NFCC current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus the value of all outstanding or uncompleted portions of the projects under ongoing contracts, including awarded contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the procurement project to be bid, provided that a different formula may be adopted subject to the recommendation of the procuring entity, which shall be submitted to the GPBB for consideration. The value of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest AIFS submitted to the BIR. Submission and receipts of bids. Bidders shall submit their bids through their respective duly authorized representatives using the forms specified in the bidding documents in two separate sealed envelopes or in appropriate documents in file format for electronic bid submission as per the relevant guidelines, in which shall be submitted simultaneously. The first shall contain the technical component of the bid, including the eligibility requirements under Section 52 of this IRR, and the second shall contain the financial component of the bid. The first bid, the following technical components at least for the procurement of goods as mentioned a while ago by Madam Annabel Dizon, and for the procurement of infrastructure projects as mentioned a while ago by Engineer Maria Fecariao. In addition, I would like to discuss the common reasons for bidders' disqualification based on our experience in previous procurement project. The omnibus sworn statement executed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall contain the following. Letter A, the signatory is the duly authorized representative of the prospective bidder and is granted full power and authority to do, execute, and perform any and all acts necessary to participate, submit the bid, to sign and execute the ensuing contract accompanied by the duly notarized special power of attorney, board or partnership resolution, or secretary's certificate, whichever is applicable. Letter B, it is not blacklisted or barred from the bidding by the GOP or any of its agencies, offices, corporation, or LGUs, including foreign government or foreign or international financial institutions, whose blacklisting rules have been recognized by the GPBB by itself or by relation, membership, association, affiliation, or controlling interest with another blacklisted person or entity. Letter C, each of the documents submitted in satisfaction of the bidding requirements is an authentic copy of the original, complete, and all statements and information provided therein are true and correct. Letter D, it is authorizing the Hope or its duly authorized representatives to verify all the documents submitted. Letter E, it complies with the disclosure provisions under sections 81 and 82 of the Act and this IRR in relation to other provisions of RA number 3019. Letter F, it complies with existing labor laws and standards. Letter G, it complies with the responsibilities of a prospective or eligible bidder provided in the PDDs. Letter H, it did not give or pay directly or indirectly any commission, amount, fee, or any form of consideration, pecuniary or otherwise, to any person or official, personal or representative of the government in relation to any procurement project or activity. And letter I, in case of advance payment was made given, failure to perform or deliver any of the obligations and undertakings in the contract shall be sufficient grounds to constitute a criminal liability under the existing laws. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents as specified in the bids. Bids shall be received by the BAC on the date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid. Bids including the eligibility requirements under Section 52.1 of this IRR submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted by the BAC. The BAC shall record in the minutes of the meeting of the submission and opening of bids the bidder's name, its representative, and the time the late submission was submitted. To ensure transparency and accurate representation of the bid submission, the BAC Secretariat shall notify in writing all bidders whose bid it has received through mail at its registered physical address or official email address. The notice shall be issued within 7 calendar days from the date of bid opening. The original copy of the bid form shall be typewritten or written in ink and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. Unsealed or unmarked bid envelopes, or in case of electronic bid submission, bidding documents not in compressed archive folders and are not protected, passport protected, shall be rejected. However, bid envelopes that are not properly sealed and marked or not properly compressed and passport protected as required in the bidding document shall be accepted, provided that the bidder or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. The BAC shall assume no responsibility for misreplaced or lost contents of the improperly sealed or marked bid or improperly compressed or passport protected or for its premature opening. Modification and withdrawal of bids. Bidders may modify their bids provided that this is done before the deadline for the receipt of bids. For manual submission and receipt of bids, where bidders modify their bids, they shall not be allowed to retrieve their original bid, but shall only be allowed to send another bid, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to their original bid, and marked as a modification thereof, and stamped received by the bank. Bid modification received after the applicable deadline shall not be considered and shall return to the bidder unopened. For online or electronic bid submission, where bidders modify their bid, they shall not be allowed to retrieve their original bid, but shall only be allowed to send another bid equally secured and properly identified. In the case of electronic submission, it shall be labeled as modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be on the official time of submission. Bids submitted after the deadline shall not be accepted. Bidders may, through a letter, withdraw their bids before the deadline for the receipt of bids. Withdrawal of bids after the applicable deadline shall subject to appropriate sanctions as prescribed in this IRR. Bidders may also express their intention not to participate in the bidding through a letter, which should reach and be stamped received by the bank before the deadline for the receipt of bids. Bidders that withdraw their bids shall no longer be allowed to submit another bid for the same contract directly or indirectly. Bid security. All bids in modes of procurement that are competitive in nature, particularly competitive bidding, competitive dialogue, and solicited offer with bid matching and limited source bidding shall be accompanied by a bid security payable to a procuring entity concerned as guarantee that the successful bidder shall, within 10 calendar days from receipt of the notice of award, enter into contract with a procuring entity and furnish the performance security required in Section 68 of this IRR. Failure to enclose the required bid security in the form of the amount prescribed herein shall automatically disqualify the bid concerned. The bidder shall submit bid securing declaration or any form of bid security in an amount less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. Form of bid security: cash or cashier's manager check issued by the bank. Amount of bid security 2%. Bank draft or guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by the bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a bank if issued by a foreign bank, 5%. Surety bond, callable upon the bond issued by a surety or insurance company, duly certified by the Insurance Commission, as authorized to issue such security, 5%. The procuring entity shall indicate in the bidding documents at least 3 acceptable forms of the bid security. The bid security shall be denominated in Philippine peso and posted in the favor of the procuring entity. Without prejudice to the provisions of the Act of this IRR on the forfeiture of bid securities shall be returned only after the bidder with the LCRB, as the case may be, assign the contract and furnish the performance security, except those declared by the bank as paid or post-disqualified in accordance with this IRR. Upon submission of a written waiver of their right to file a request for reconsideration and or protest. A bid securing declaration is undertaking which states, among others, that the bidder shall enter into contract with the procuring entity, furnish the required performance security within 10 calendar days as indicated in the bidding documents from receipt of the notice of award, and commits to pay a corresponding amount as fine, automatically disqualified from bidding of any procurement contract of any procuring entity for a period of time upon receipt of blacklisting order in the event of violence of the conditions stated required in the guidance issued by the GPBB. In no case shall the bid validity shall be returned later than the expiration of the bid validity period indicating the bidding documents unless it has been extended in accordance with Section 57.2 of this IRR. In case the bidder is required to extend its bid validity for grants as provided in this IRR, the bidder may, at its discretion, substitute a bid securing declaration as a replacement for its bid security, provided that the option to substitute is indicated in the bidding documents. Bid validity. Bid and bid securities shall be valid for a reasonable period as determined by the host concerned, which shall be indicated in the bidding documents, but in no case shall the period exceed 120 calendar days from the date of opening of bids. Should it become necessary to extend the validity of the bids and the bid securities beyond 120 calendar days, the procuring entity concerned shall request in writing all those who submitted bids for such extension before the expiration date thereof. Bidders, however, shall have the right to refuse to grant such extension without forfeiting their bid security. Bid opening. The box shall open the bids immediately after the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. The time, date, and place of the opening of bids shall be specified in the bidding document. The manner of opening of the bids for goods and infrastructure projects shall depend on the award criteria to be adopted as follows. For LCRB, the box shall open the technical and financial proposal on the same day. May we request our back Vice Chairman, General Manuel Tabinga, to please discuss the detailed evaluation of bids.
Hello, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Preliminary examination of bids. Prior to bid evaluation, the box shall open the bid envelopes in public to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements as prescribed in this IRR. For this purpose, the box shall check the submitted documents of its bidder against the checklist required documents to ascertain they are present, using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as stated in the instruction to bidders. If a bidder submitted the required requirement, it shall be read passed. For that particular requirements, in this regard, bids that fail to impart the requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Otherwise, the box shall read the bid first bid envelope as passed. Receipt of the scanned copies of the bid envelope will be required form prescribed in this IRR. Bids are for the online or electronic bid submission shall be considered as compliant with the requirements of the said bid submission, subject to the submission of the original copies of the following bid security declaration or other forms of bid security, including cash and omnibus form statement. This form shall be submitted by the bidders during the post-qualification stage. The non-submission of these forms within the prescribed period shall render the bid submission as non-compliant and shall result in the post-disqualification of the bidder. Immediately after determining compliance with the requirements in the first envelope, the box shall open the second bid envelope as is remaining eligible bidder was technical proposal contained in the first bid envelope was rated passed. The second bid envelope of its compliant bidder shall be opened within the same day, except as provided under Section 58 and 62 of this IRR. In case of any of the requirements in the second bid envelope of a particular bid is missing, incomplete, and insufficient, and or in the submitted total bid price exceeds the EDC, the box shall read the bid concerned as failed. Only bids determine the content all the bids requirements
for both components shall be rated pass and immediately considered for evaluation and comparison. Receipt of the scanned copies of the second bid and bid with the required forms such as the duly signed bid form, price schedules, or other forms prescribed in this IRR for electronic or online bid submission shall consider as compliant with the requirements of the said bid submission. Ceiling for bid price, the BC shall be the upper limit or ceiling acceptable of bid price. If a bid price as evaluated and calculated in accordance with this IRR is higher than EBC, the bidder submitting the same shall be automatically disqualified. This shall be no lower limit or floor of the amount of the award. Bidding documents are obtainable free of charge on free acceptable website. A payment bidding document is required by the procuring entity. Payment could be made upon the submission of bids. Bid evaluation for the performance of infrastructure project. Members of the BAC, as staff and personnel, secretariat, and TWD as well as observers are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with the bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC, through its secretariat, may ask the bidder writing the clarification of its bid. All response to request for clarification shall be in writing. For the procurement of structure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. The BAC shall immediately conduct detailed revision of all bid using non-discretionary criteria and considering the following: completeness of the bid, unless the instruction the bidder especially allow partial bids, bids not addressing and providing all the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. However, when no price or acero or thus is indicated in a required item in the bid form, the same shall be construed that is being offered for free to the government except those required by law or regulation to be provided for an arithmetic correction. The BC shall consider computationally errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modification if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on the equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as but limited to the value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, if applicable, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be the basis for the bid evaluation and comparison. In case of discrepancies between one, bid prices in figure and in the words, the latter which the second choice. Number two, total price, bid item and unit price for the items are extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. The latter shall prevail. Number three, stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the bidder shall prevail. Number 4, unit cost in the detailed estimates and unit cost in the weight quantities, the lender shall prevail. And 5, amount and price scheduled and in the bid form, the lender shall prevail. Bids shall then be ranked in the existing order of their total calculated bids prices, as evaluated and corrected for the computational errors and other bids modification. While we define the LCB, total calculated bid prices as evaluated and corrected for computational errors and other modification which exceed ABC shall be disqualified. The entire evaluation of the procurement of structured projects using LCB as criteria shall be completed within 7 days calendar days from the deadline of receipt proposal. The HOP shall approve or disapprove the recommendation of the BAC within 2 calendar days after receipt of the result of the evaluation from the BAC. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Engineer Tapinja. We will request the Chief of Construction Section, Engineer Ronald Supanga, to please discuss the post-qualification and award.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Good morning to all. For the post-qualification, under Rule 10 of 12009. But before the process of post-qualification, the EWG will conduct first the detailed evaluation of bids, wherein we will determine the as per 12009, we have 3 methods of 3 criteria in the conduct of the evaluation of bids, which is the LCB, the lowest calculated bidder, the most advantageous bidder, or the most economic and advantageous bidder. But as we have decided before, we will adapt, since we are still in the transition between the RE 9184 and the RE 12009, we will still adapt the LCB, or the lowest calculated bidder, in determining the qualified bidders. So to proceed, for the post-qualification, objective and process of post-qualification. Like I said before, the bidder with the LCB, in case of infrastructure projects, shall undergo post-qualification to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that the bidder has the LCB, the bidder shall comply all eligibility documents supporting its PhilJEPs. The PhilJEPs shall have a certificate of registration of platinum membership, its latest income and business tax returns, filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bids, and other appropriate license and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. So lahat ng mga documents na magsusupport sa inyong PhilJEPs ay kailangan ma-comply nyo within calendar days. And take note sa ating PhilJeps, pag meron tayong mga hindi updated na doon sa ating PhilJeps ay outright po na ma-suspend yung ating certificate ng ating PhilJeps. So dapat lahat ng mga documents doon ay updated. To continue, failure to comply any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Article 21 of the Act and this IRR. During post-qualification, the BAC shall verify and validate the veracity, authenticity, and validity of all eligibility documents supporting the PhilJeps Certificate of Registration and all other statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the LCB, using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider but shall not be limited to the following. A. Legal requirements. To validate, verify, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 54 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a portal which contains the consolidated file of all blacklisted contractors. B. Technical requirements. To verify and validate the bidder's stated compliance with the requirements specified in the bidding documents. C. Financial requirements. To validate and verify the bid price proposal of the bidder and, whenever applicable, the required committed line of credit in the amount specified and over the period stipulated in the bidding documents or the bidder's NFCC to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. If the BAC determines that the bidder with the LCB passes all the criteria for post-qualification, it shall declare the said bid as the LCRB, or the lowest calculated responsive bid. In case infrastructure projects, and recommend to the HOPE the award of contract to the said bidder as its submitted bid price or its calculated bid price, whichever is lower. If, however, the BAC determines that the bidder with the LCB fails the criteria for post-qualification, it shall immediately notify the said bidders in writing of its post-disqualification and the grounds for it. Immediately after the BAC has notified the first bidder for its post-disqualification, and notwithstanding any pending request for reconsideration thereof, the BAC shall initiate and complete the same post-qualification process on the bidder with the second LCB. If the second bidder passes the post-qualification and provided that the request for reconsideration of the first bidder has been denied, the second bidder shall be post-qualified as the bidder with the LCB. If the second bidder, however, fails the post-qualification, the procedure for the post-qualification shall be repeated for the bidder with the next LCB, and so on until the LCRB, as the case may be, is determined for award subject to Section 66 of this IRR. This post-qualification process shall be completed in not more than 12 calendar days from the determination of the LCB. In exceptional cases, the post-qualification period may be extended by the HOPE, but in no case shall the aggregate period exceed 45 calendar days for infrastructure projects. In case the post disqualification of the bidder with the LCB, the BAC shall be given the same fresh period to conduct the post qualification on the next LCB until a bidder is post qualified or failure of bidding is declared based on Section 64 of its IRR. So, Section 64, failure of bidding. There shall be a failure of bidding if competitive bidding, incompetitive bidding if no bids are received, all bidders are declared ineligible, no bid qualifies as the SCRB, whenever the bidder with SCRB or LCRB, as case may be, refuses without justifiable cause to accept the award of the contract. For other modes of procurement that do not require competitive selection, the BAC may declare a failure of procurement in any of the above-mentioned instances, as may be necessary and applicable. In order to determine the reason for the failed bidding, the end user or the implementing unit shall conduct a mandatory review and evaluation of the terms, conditions, and specifications in the bidding documents, including its cost estimates. Based on the end user or implementing unit's findings or evaluation, the BAC shall revise the terms, conditions, and specifications, and if necessary, adjust the ABC subject to the required approvals and conduct a rebidding with republishing as provided in Section 50 of this IRR. All bidders who have initially responded to the invitational to bid and have been declared eligible, the BAC shall observe the same process and set the new periods according to the same rules followed during the previous bidding. So, for the notice and execution of award under Rule 11, the award, the BAC shall recommend to the HOC the award of contract to the bidder with lowest calculated responsive bid, as the case may be after the post-qualification process has been completed. So that's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Ronald Sopana. Well spoken, well done. For the summary of proceedings, the BAC Chairman will convene the Bids and Awards Committee members to conduct the bid opening of the following activities. The first activity is the preliminary examination of the technical component. The next activity is the reading of results on electronic eligibility generated from Civil Works application, CWA, followed by the preliminary examination of financial component, and finally, the announcement of the results by reading the APSACO bids. Sir Portales, do we have supplemental bid bulletins issued?
Yes, we have the bid bulletin number 72, dated November 5, 2025. Subject to reset the pre-bid conference, submission, and opening of bids. This bid bulletin number 72, 2025 is issued to reset the pre-bid conference, submission, and opening of bids of FY 2025 projects. Due to memorandum issued by the LGU NARA declaring the suspension of work due to Typhoon Tino. Contract ID number 25EF0124 to 25EF0126, pre-bid conference from November 5, 2025, 10 a.m. to November 26, 2025, 10 a.m. Submission of bids from November 18, 2025 until 10 a.m. to November 19, 2025 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids from November 18, 2025, 10 a.m. to November 19, 2025, 10 a.m. This supplemental bulletin shall form an integral part of bidding documents for the guidance and information concerned. Signed, Eugenio Arcaton, Chairperson, Bids and Awards Committee. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Engineer Portales. Noted. This ends our pre-bid conference. The BAC meeting is now adjourned.